All right, kitties, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Let's go somewhere I haven't gone in a little while, I guess. Do a little Friday night ghost town video tour. Let's go to Broadway. We could go over to the Chop, but I really don't want to go over to the Chop at night. That's not a good idea. Even if I had like more like proper gear and everything, I wouldn't even want to go in there, because I feel like if people talk to you, because they're going to decide whether they want to talk to you or not. If they talk to you and you don't answer questions right, I think that they'll get mad at you. I have a feeling. And I don't know how to, I can speak a little bit of woke, but I don't know if I can totally blend. Like, they'll sniff me out. I don't know. Just have a feeling. Sniff me out as the radical centrist, I guess, that I am. I don't know what I am anymore. But let's just take a look at Broadway. See, I can compare this to, I was here, man, it must have been a couple of months ago now. And there's clearly a lot more activity. More cars, more people out. It was spooky as all hell, like just a couple months ago, back during the pandemic. We now have pandemonium, so people don't care anymore. I think that's kind of the takeaway. People don't care anymore. They're going out there doing whatever they want. You got people kicking it, hanging out. Just kicking it. Things are still all boarded up. Over here by the college, Seattle Central College. See all these boarded up windows. Got, interesting graffiti, tags and murals and such going on. That's cool. It's fine, I guess. It's better than being on glass. You gotta scrape it off or something. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of graffiti removal going on as the, basically as the Chop winds itself down. Which, I mean, I assume it's winding down. Like, there's reports that there's like basically fewer and fewer people are involved in the situation, basically. That's the reports I'm seeing anyway. You've got some of the local business owners kind of getting fed up. They're gonna have some pressure. So did I see a barricade down there? No, there's no barricade down there. It was the last street. So Cal Anderson Park is like one block over. That's the sort of south end of it is the, oh, do not enter. Can't go down there. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's just more activity now. There's just more activity. Lots more cars, more people out. It's not as spooky, because, man, it was spooky having nobody out here. Maybe a handful of homeless kind of roaming around. Let's go down here. Let's see if I can see what we can do here. I don't really know the layout of the streets too well over here. I mean, it's mostly a grid up here, but the blocks are like weird sizes and stuff, though. So there's that. One way. So we're over here on the north end of Cal Anderson. So we're near the zone. Come on, you can make it. You got plenty of room. Got all the room in the world. There you go. There you go. Let's see. This is the north end of the park. Revelers? Occupiers? What are they? I don't know. Tents. Tent city getting set up. kind of chilling. Got some rest. We got some outhouses. Now leaving until our demands are met. Defund SPD by 50%. Fund black communities. Free all protesters. And a tiny URL. There you go. Got Jedi Knight over here juggling. What's he doing? Spinning his lightsaber staff around. It's all good. All right. People are milling about. What we got? Don't be cop-free zone. Do not enter. All right. I can dig that. These seem like reasonable demands. Cop-free zone. No cops on that side of the barricade. That's where I'm not going. All those bollards, sort of temporary bollards that they put up there. That's allegedly why they brought in these, bulldozers. Yeah. They brought in bulldozers. And they are gonna, I guess, push all this stuff out of the way. And they're gonna start, let's go this way. And they're gonna start clearing stuff up. That's the rumor mill anyway. Barricade here. Slow. Let's see. Black trans lives matter. All right. Black trans lives matter. Interesting. All right. Black trans lives matter. Oh yeah, it's a Korean joint. People eating out. Love to see it. Looks like we got an unmarked SPD up here. Just kind of chilling, I assume. Assume it's an unmarked officer of some kind. Alright, well, like I said, I don't really want to go in there at night. Probably not a good idea for me. Might go there during the day or something. I don't know. It's one of these things, it's like, is this a historic, I'm just going to ruminate now. Is this like a historic thing and people will remember it, some, kind of spirit of the 60s kind of thing? Or is this just going to be like is this just a freak show, right? Like, is this somehow significant? Will it be remembered? Will it get results also, right? Now, again, my position with almost any form of like demonstration, protest, like movement, whatever, it's like, okay, does it have some kind of legitimate argument, some kind of legitimate issue? Sure, of course, fine. Law enforcement has problems in America. There are issues with law enforcement. I fully appreciate that. Is it at the epidemic level that this kind of is reached? Maybe. I don't know. Could be. Do I want people to get what they want? Let me try to put it that way, right? Like, I want people to get what they want. I want them to get change so that I guess so that it's like the world becomes a little bit better, right? Just a little bit better for everybody if they're right. And then maybe if they get what they want, then they won't be so angry. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they won't be so angry if they can get some concessions of some kind. And again, I'm not pretending that this is just, I'm not pretending that this is just like all negative or whatever. I mean, people seem to be having some fun. There's that. And again, like all different races and everything. This is a black thing. It's a black issue, but you know, you can see it says Black Lives Matter. Giant banner. Black Lives Matter. Oop, I pick it out of the way. And you know, here we are. We went in a circle. All right, there's not much more to see around the perimeter. I'm not going to go in there, like I said. Will this get some kind of reform? Will defunding the police be a good, positive thing? Never mind just for the black community, like for the city as a whole. For maybe it will serve as a model. Other cities will try, and we usher in a new era that doesn't have these sort of severe issues. You know, these sort of crippling like issues that are just causing like all of this bedlam, you know, and all this outrage. And you know, the police will stop killing people wrongly, right? This is something I was meaning to like take a picture of, actually. I'll show you. So they turned all the lights to that tower over there to BLM and a heart. Back during the pandemic, it was hearts on all four sides. Now it's a heart on each side and a BLM on each side. So again, like I feel like there's just a general cultural momentum that is behind the Black Lives Matter movement generally. Not necessarily the CHOP, because again, that is kind of a freak show. But it is another symptom of the larger problem. But I swear they have the juice. They have the momentum to maybe get some real reform and real change. And I hope that the plan is coherent, and I hope that we do the right thing. It's always tricky trying to make large structural changes to society when large portions of it are viewed as basically monolithic and inseparable, right? And then you always have, of course, the G.K. Chesterton parable or quote or observation, I guess you'd call it, that the difference between conservatives and liberals is that liberals will encounter a fence and they will tear it down because it's in their way. Conservatives will consider why the fence is there before they tear it down. Something like that. Now, if we do some of the more radical things I've seen people say, like 100% defund law enforcement right now, I think that criminals would crime like you've never seen before. That's what I think would happen relatively immediately. Now, in the long run, things might stabilize or balance out or something, but that would be one hell of a tribulation for us to all go through, okay? And we've already been through so much, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. So, yeah. Maybe we're looking at a future where we change law enforcement budgeting and funding. Maybe we emphasize public health and public safety over law enforcement. And that's essentially like what the argument is that law enforcement leads to arrests and detainments, leads to, prison sentences, leads to armed confrontations with law enforcement, and what I would just call negative policing. It's not positive policing. They're not protecting you. They're fining you. They're harassing you. They're searching you. They're stopping you. They're making you show their ID. They're having a bad attitude. You having a bad attitude. It's all negative. It's negative policing. policing is a verb too, by the way, so it's like it's being done to you. Whereas if there's an emphasis on like threat management, now you just have a guy who's looking out for things that are threats, not looking out for every minor infraction they can cite you for, stop you for, try to find if you have a warrant for your arrest. It changes the nature of your encounters with, you know, this kind of policing, this form of policing. It makes them more on your side than not. And then it's changing the emphasis on law enforcement to when there's something that's actually a problem, right? I kind of went over this in today's daytime video, but it's like the potential is right there for a change. And I mean, if this is the first, if we have to address all this and get everybody to calm down and get everybody to stop occupying things and rioting and tearing down statues and all this stuff, well then I hope that we do something that kind of is some kind of compromise that mostly makes everybody pacified at the very least. Like, it's at least something that we all feel like we did a thing, and that hopefully it helps. Because we gotta come back from this, guys. I don't necessarily know how. I mean, people are demanding crazy things. They're tearing down statues and all this stuff. People are getting hurt doing it. They tore down an abolitionist statue. I just think that we got to figure out a way to come back from this, and we already have. Oh man, you guys, we have so many problems stacked on top of each other, and like oh god, well, that's Dan's toast. We already have so many problems, you guys. The COVID, economic problems. We have a nuclear stockpile still. We are still involved in foreign wars. You got China trying to, you know, expand out. Man, so many problems. We can't get our house in order with all this stuff. But then we're gonna tackle all these other problems. I mean, water shortage in the future, energy shortage in the future. And I mean, like, it might be 10, 20 years from now, but man, that's sooner than you think. We will live in an incomplete, fallen world if we don't start fixing some of these problems now. I mean, Seattle was already a decaying husk of a city before all this stuff happened. Now it looks like an absolute clown show. We're still not getting our cruise ships, we're not getting our sports, we're not getting our games, we're not getting our concerts, our conventions, our tourism. It's, whew, guys. Again, if this economy goes into a Great Depression, no lives matter. We're going to find out exactly whose lives matter and how much they matter for. And it's going to get ugly. And crime is going to go up. All kinds of horrific outcomes. And we're going to look back on this like, oh, that was a minor problem. You know? Ugh. Goodness gracious. And it's an election year. Ooh, I'm telling you, it's either laugh or cry, guys. It's either laugh or cry, and I don't know. I mean, I think I'm cried out. I've had enough trauma over the last couple of years to look at this and just kind of get a Klingon laugh, because it just keeps getting worse, and it keeps getting worse in new and fascinating ways that you could have never imagined. What is gonna come next? Apparently a giant sandstorm from Africa is going to descend on us, because we need another dust bowl to really round this thing out. All right, that's enough from me for one night. I'll talk to you later. Bye.